Alright, what's up everybody, it's your boy Wyatt, and I'm coming back at you with another video. And today's video is going to be me covering the basics of Cyrodiil. Starting off, right now, we're going to start off with showing you how you enter Cyrodiil and what the different campaigns are. So to start off first, on PC at least, you press L by default and you go to your Alliance War page. Or depending on this, you can scroll over to this page right here that's got the little castle icon. And now you're going to be at this screen. I don't know exactly what it's going to bring you at, but it's going to bring you to this screen right here. And what you need to do is you need to click on campaigns, this tab right here. And now you have a bunch of different options right here. And we're only going to cover the ones that are under Cyrodiil. We're going to ignore the Imperial City ones for this video. So, Alliance Locked, this campaign is where CP is enabled, proc sets are enabled. But, say if I enter on a character that is Daggerfall Covenant, I can now only enter this on other Daggerfall Covenant characters. I can't enter on a Daggerfall Covenant character and then get onto an Aldemary Dominion character and log into that on that faction. So, if you want to play Greyhost, make sure that you log in with whichever alliance you want to play it on for the rest of that campaign's duration. Standard no CP is the same, other than it doesn't matter what alliance you are at all. You can log in no matter what, and it doesn't have any CP enabled, so everyone is on the same playing field regardless of what CP you are. Proc sets are also disabled too, so you'll have, if you want to play on this, make sure you're not wearing proc sets, because you will not get the proc set effect of that. Standard is exactly the same as Alliance Locked and Greyhost, except you're not Alliance Locked, you can go on whatever character you want to, regardless of alliance. And below level 50 is the same, except for everything is below level 50. Now, to actually enter Cyrodiil, what you need to do is you need to go over to it, and you just need to click on the Cyrodiil campaign that you want to enter. And we can see now that it says please wait, and I am queuing into the alliance, into Cyrodiil right now. So just give it a few seconds and it'll take you into Cyrodiil, and that's all you have to do to enter it. Alright, now that we're in Cyrodiil, you can see that I'm in Cyrodiil. I'm going to show you how you set a campaign as your home campaign, because this has stuff to do with reward tiers and getting rewards out of playing these campaigns for the duration of this right here, the campaign duration right here. To do that, you go over to whichever alliance, whichever campaign you want to. You can already see that I have this home icon right here. This means that this is my home campaign. But let's say I want to make Greyhost my home now. You can see now if I scroll over it, down at the bottom right, it says press R to make this my home. If I wanted to make Greyhost my home, I can do that. If you already have a campaign set as your home campaign, it does give you a little bit of a fee. But other than that, it should be free every once in a while. And if it is your first time setting it, it's going to be free. So make sure you do that so you get the bonus rewards for doing so. This also leads me into my next point of the campaign rewards. So you level up this right here, the campaign rewards, as with this character is level 0. These are character based, not account based. You can level these up by doing various things in PvP by gaining alliance points. And the more alliance points you get, the higher this tier gets. And once you reach level 1 with a character, at the end of the campaign duration, which we can see right here, you will always get a geode, a transmutation geode that contains 50 transmutes. So that is a big reason to do this on as many characters as you can, to get as many transmutes as you can. And the higher this goes, the better the rewards you can get. If you get campaign reward tier 3, and you win the your alliance wins the campaign, so you can see the campaign I am currently on is Daggerfall Covenant, and we have 30,000 points. But if we were somehow to pass Dalamari Dominion before the campaign ends, we would get extra stuff. Usually it's purple gear, like purple jewelry that you get from it, so that's also really nice to get too. So make sure you set your campaign to home, and that you've tried to get to tier 1 at least on multiple characters for more transmute crystals. And now this brings me into my next point of how do you leave Cyrodiil once you're here? How do you get around? How do you get out of here? Out of this cursed place? So first of all, let's go into my map, this map of Cyrodiil. You need to be at one of these two outpost or keeps, okay? So you need to be at one of those two, either those two or these two. Now of course this depends on whichever alliance you are playing with. Right now I'm playing on blue, so it was these two. If you're playing on yellow, come on, move. But it's these two over here. You can see that there's way shrines there, and you need to go to the way shrine, and then you just click out to go to wherever you want to, normally however you'd want to travel with any way shrine, and that's how you leave. Next, I'm going to cover the Siege Merchant, because the Siege Merchant holds a lot of things that are extremely important if you want to participate in sieging keeps, or repairing keeps, or doing anything that Alliance v Alliance does. So first of all, we need to go onto our map. We find our general goods merchant. Usually the Siege Merchant's hanging out over there with them, but this is a bit different. But we can find our Siege Merchant is right here next to the merchant, okay? So if you talk to them, you can see that they sell potions, they sell repair kits, they sell siege equipment that cover like ballistas, battering rams, various different types of siege, forward camps, Covenant oil catapults, Covenant stone trebuchets, different types of foods, more repair kits, all that good stuff. So you can see that this guy actually sells us everything we need to partake in sieging. Now, one thing I want to cover is which of these are the most important ones. So when it comes to just straight out trying to take down the structures to get inside of a siege, inside of the keeps or outpost, the regular ballista, the battering rams, and stone trebuchets are the best ones at doing damage to structures. These ones do by far the most damage. They're probably the worst siege equipment to actually use against players. So if you're trying to shoot siege at players, you're better off using scattershot, oil catapults, and meatbag catapults, along with other various special types of siege that you get from doing dolmens around the areas. Now you might be wondering, how do you get these? Now you can get these with gold. Some of them you can buy with gold. However, I think that is the wrong option to do this. If you don't have any alliance points, just piggyback off of another group, piggyback off of some people, you'll get plenty of them. As you can see right now, I have 360,000 just on this character. I have about 10 million in the bank. So do not be afraid, and just wait until you can buy these with alliance points, which you get for taking resources, taking keeps, taking outposts, killing players, participating in helping kill players, healing people. There's almost everything you do in Cyrodiil gives you alliance points, so just wait until you have some, and then feel free to buy these. Now, one thing I gotta mention is that forward camps are portable respawn areas that have a certain amount of respawns that you can use. As you can see, they have 20 soldiers that can respawn. They also have a certain range that people need to die within for people to respawn at them. That's about all I have to say about the Siege Merchant. A lot of this stuff just gets into learning how to use it. Now, one thing I need to cover too is, how do you travel around this map? How do you get from over here to, let's say, if this keep was not disconnected, how would I get over here without having to ride my mount all the way over there? You go to this thing called a Transitus Shrine. And now, as you can see, any keep that is connected that doesn't have anything around it obstructing it. So say if this keep right here was blue, now there's a clear path from here to here to here to here, but since this is yellow, this keep right here is cut off and I cannot travel to it. So if you these are located at every single outpost, so they're located at like nickel outposts, they're located at every fort like here, so you can travel to those with no problem. As you can see, I teleported over here, and every single transition shrine is going to be inside of the inner keep. So we can see that it ported me out right here. I also need to mention that every single keep does have a siege merchant, and usually they are right here on this side exact spot inside of the keep. So keep that in mind, and that's how you get around. Now while we're here, let's cover what a castle is, or what a fort is. Forts are the big keeps that each alliance fights over control for, that basically are used for gaining the points, gaining points for your alliance. They're also used as respawn beacons, so if I die, I can respawn here or anywhere else, any other keeps that my alliance controls. And these are where a lot of the big siege battles end up occurring, is at the forts and castles and outposts. These are extremely important for your alliance and for you, so make sure that you always try to fight over them if you see that they're being taken away from your alliance. Now one way you can tell if alliance is being taken is you see this means that this is under attack. This cannot be. So if you see those stars around anything, the resources, that means it's under attack. The towns, that means it's under attack. Outposts, under attack. See, we have an example over here. Example right here. And that's how you know if they're under attack. There are certain key parts of the keeps that I need to cover, such as the front door, or known as the gatehouse. This gate right here is always known as front door by everyone. So if somebody says at front door, this is what they are talking about. That is inner door right there, the inner keep door, the big door. There are also several postern doors scattered across the outer walls that you can go in and out of if you control it. But siege is used to destroy the door over there. It can be used to destroy any of these walls to get in from the walls. These doors right here, you can get in from these doors too. Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Wyatt back from the hospital, continuing this video that has been in the works for probably close to about a month now, before the Deadlands patch dropped. And now we're going to be going over outposts, and what outposts are and what they serve in Cyrodiil. So what outposts are is they serve as a kind of buffer in between keeps and a teleportation area and a respawn area. They're basically the inner keep. Back to what I was talking about. They're basically like the inner keep of a castle. Well, there's no resources around them. There's no bonuses for like resources. There's no wall around it. All it is if I step outside of this keep, it's an open field. And you can siege either the front door or the keep door, which has lower health, or you can siege the postern doors too. And you can set up shop up top too if you're trying to defend with siege or something like oils. Alright, now I want to cover resources. So there's 3 resources that surround every single castle on the map. The first one is the mine. Second one is lumber mill, and the third one is the farm. Each of these provides specific bonuses to the keep itself and for the guards around it. So the farm buffs up the mobs, like the adds and the guards all around and inside the keep. The lumber mill increases the front door strength, and the mine increases the wall strengths. So if you're trying to keep a keep, then it's good to have all 3 of these if you can. Also, you need to at least own one of these 3 to be able to teleport to it. If an enemy factions own all 3 of these resources, you can no longer port to Fort Ash or say down to Nickel because it is now broken and cut off. So you would need to recapture at least one of these resources to be able to travel. Alright, well, I was gonna go to a town to kind of show you guys the layout of one of the towns, but since my faction does not own any of the towns and I really don't feel like fighting over a town right now, I'm just gonna do it from the map. So basically, towns are areas that you can do daily quests from to get rewards from them. You can use them as respawn areas. But the way you capture towns is there's 3 different flags that you need to hold simultaneously to turn it into your own place. And until you do so, their guards will keep on respawning, and guards can take back the flags if the flag guards do respawn. So make sure you take the flags fast if you're looking forward to that. Alright, now I also want to cover the Emperor. So the Emperor gets big bonuses to their health their stat regenerations, their ultimate gain, their healing effects, siege weapon damage against their structures, and as well as their stat pools. All of those get bonuses, big bonuses. I think their health, stamina, magicka gets boosted by 75%, and then I think their regenerations of all of those get boosted by 100%. So it's a big boost. Also, another thing that happens is that everyone in the Alliance of the Emperor gets a health boost, and if they're a level 50 character, it's about 5,000, or no, yeah, around 5,000, I think. I don't know, something like that, 3 to 5,000, somewhere around that much. But it's a big bonus for the whole Alliance, and also to gain Emperorship, you must hold all of these inner ring keeps to get Emperor, and also to take Emperor away from the ruling faction. So you would need to capture Chalman. I do not think Outposts play a part in this, but Bleakers, Alicewell, Ash, Castle Robeck, Alessia, and Blue Road Keep. You need to hold all those simultaneously in order to become Emperor and to take it away from the current Emperor, which in this case, since Red is, or Ebonheart Pact is the Emperor right now, my faction would need to take Blue Road Keep or Castle Alessia, or Yellow could also take Blue Road Keep and Alessia, and then PV Flag all day would be dethroned as Emperor, and then there would be no Emperor. But if Blue were to take these 2, Blue Road Keep and Alessia, while maintaining all of these, Artorias Storm Knight right here would become Emperor. So basically, whoever becomes Emperor is the first on the leaderboard within your faction at the time. So now we're going to move on to how do you siege. So typically, the first steps of sieging that you need to take is you need to have things quick slotted, because the only way you can actually place down your ballistas and battering rams and use your repair kits and all that stuff is by quick slotting it. So what you need to do is you need to go into this tab right here that says quick slots, and you need to put them on at least one slot to have them be able to be called out. This is typically what I do. Is I have my wall and door breaker, I have my battering ram, I have repair kit, my door repair kit, forward camp, and then something like a meat bag just in case we need it. And that's what I usually put in my quick slots. Another key mechanic is lighting the keep. As you can see right here, this keep is lit. That's what you call lighting a keep, okay? When you see that, that means that nobody on blue team can respawn here anymore because it is lit and under siege. This keep, anyone can respawn here because it is not lit. And the way you do that is you get one of these down to, it's either 50 or 60%, either the gate door or a wall down to 50 to 60%. Cannot remember, I think it's 60% though, by doing damage to it. And some callouts that you might hear are going to be front door, inner door, postern doors. So, but first of all, if I wanted to siege front door, I would say everyone go front door, and you know, then you can place down siege, which you do this. If you get interrupted, then it will cancel it, and then you just shoot, and then it takes time. Also, you press Alt to exit it, in case you didn't know that, because it's kind of hidden sometimes. It took me a while to figure that out when I first started. It's kind of embarrassing to think. And if you want to pick it up, you get on it and you press X. The siege cannot be reloading after you shoot it to be able to pick it up, so make sure it's not reloading when you try and pick it up. But typically, you can run multiple sieges. Like, you can place down this one, shoot it, run over here, place down another one, shoot it, place down another one. If you get good at this, you can run up to 4 sieges at once effectively. 3 is pretty easy to manage. You just shoot, run, shoot, run, shoot, run. Make sure you're also paying attention behind you if you think that you might be getting attacked. Also, another thing to mention is you can only have up to, I think we got a boost right now, but you can only have up to a certain amount of siege. If you scroll over the keep, you can see how much that siege is right here. It'd be 25 siege. And here it would be 30 siege. If you're attacking someplace, then see, we can only have 20 over here up at one time, so make sure if you're trying to attack and you're moving from the outer door to the inner door that you pick up your siege, or if it's about to destroy, let it destroy. And this is what we know as the front door. So, and then we go over here, these are walls. We have postern doors over here somewhere. Yeah, let me just run a little bit to find it. There's one. And the front door is obviously the easiest way to get in from. The walls take a lot longer to destroy. But once you get inside the keep from wherever, now you have the inner keep, and you have the postern doors. There's one on each side that you can get in, that you can attack siege. And there's also the front door, or the inner door, I should say. This is called inner door right here. This door is called the inner door, and is usually the main method of attack, unless it is just too hot to siege. Now, once you make it inside of the keep, you have these 2 flags. You have the front flag, and you have the back flag. You need to capture both of these flags at the simultaneously and hold them for a little bit after they're captured to turn this keep into yours. And until that happens, you cannot repair the doors. Once you have taken both of these flags and you see that the keep flips to whatever color you are, so in my case it would be blue, so now I have the ability to repair everything here. My guards will start respawning here and all that other fun stuff. And that's pretty much the basics of sieging. Now, defending castles, obviously you have repairing, which you can use the door repair kits to repair the doors, and wall repair kits to repair walls. Most of the time I've noticed that most people like to attack the doors because they're easier to break down, but some people do attack the walls and such. So it's always good to have at least some wall repair kits on. Also, make sure you have all the stuff that you think you're going to need quick slotted before you go into battle, because you cannot change your quick slots in the middle of battle once your flag is in battle. So, another thing to touch on is counter sieging. If you are trying to defend a keep and there is a lot of people stacked outside and you can't go out and fight them because you'll just die, and you cannot respawn anymore because they have the keep lit, you can place down siege. Usually you place down like meat bags. Meat bags are good to counter siege. You can put down flaming oils right in places like this if there's battering rams, because flaming oils do a lot of damage to players and also do a lot of damage to siege. So if there's a lot of siege if there's a battering ram right there, it's good to have those. Some places to put siege are about right here, up here, so you can shoot down over here, right here, up on this tower, on this right here. You can get into a lot of places to try and throw down counter siege. That in the end will end up help delaying or completely stopping a siege. A lot of times if you get enough oils right here, they'll have to pull off of their battering ram because it'll be too hot. And if you also throw in meat bags shooting there too, then it just becomes way too hot and they have to pull back and do a full range siege, which takes longer than having a battering ram up because the battering rams chunk the door really fast. Also, of course, if they make it inside, you want to do your best to defend the flags and prevent the other alliance from capturing these flags. As long as you keep control of one of the flags, then they cannot capture the keep. And if you're trying to retake it, then that is a good strategy. If you are completely outnumbered but you know reinforcements are coming, just try to hold one flag, keep on rotating around the keep if you have a group, and trying to delay the enemy from taking that. Another thing I want to touch on is forward camps. You can place down forward camps. They need a big area. You also can't be too close to an enemy keep to place them, and they have a radius around them. So usually the forward camp has an icon around it, or a white circle around it. It's about this large with my mouse circling around it. And if you're dead inside of this radius, you can respawn on said forward camp. It will allow you to respawn there. However, forward camps only have 20 uses, so only 20 people can respawn there, and then after you respawn at said forward camp, you can no longer respawn at a forward camp anymore for a respawn timer. It's like 5 to 15 minutes, I am unsure of that, but it's a pretty long time, so once you use it, you're probably not going to be able to use it again for that whole duration. Alright, now I will tell you about the Elder Scrolls. So each alliance has 2 native scrolls. For blue it is Nimok and Almaruma. For red it's what is that? Chim and Gartok. And for yellow it is Nem and Altadun. However, you can take other alliance scrolls, but you must have your own scrolls back first. So for blue, if I wanted to take red scrolls, I'd need Nimok and Almaruma. However, Almaruma can only go to the Temple of Almaruma, and Nimok can only go to the Temple of Nimok. So make sure that you have those 2 scrolls back before you try to take other alliance scrolls, or else you won't be able to grab them, as red doesn't have their scrolls. They would be unable to take other people's scrolls right now. They would need to first attack all the way down to yellows and take their scrolls back. However, other alliance scrolls, you can deposit them in keeps. There is a pedestal inside the keeps where you can deposit them, and I will show you that right now. Alright, and I'm back now, and as you can see, we're back at Rails. And this is the pedestal where you would put the scroll if you had a scroll that was not one of your home alliance's main scrolls. Now, what the scrolls do is they give your alliance bonuses, and they also add to your alliance score. As you can see in here, if I go into my campaign overview, they will give you score and more scroll. As you see, scrolls held right here. This also tells you things that will give you points for your alliance too. So if I did grab, let's say I grabbed the scroll of Chim and I had both of my home alliance scrolls back, I could run back all the way over to Rails wherever I wanted to and just drop it there. And then they would have to siege that keep and get inside there to get it. However, another thing I need to mention is when you are carrying a scroll, you are visible to everyone on the map because you will have a scroll icon over you that will follow you around, and it will tell everyone where you are, and you'll also have a giant beam over your head too. Also, when you were carrying the scroll, you can no longer mount up, so now you have to run all the way across the map to deposit said scroll. Which is usually why people have dedicated scroll runners that have high movement speed builds, so they can run across the map pretty fast. Either that, or they usually have their just hardest to kill person grab it, which is usually a tank, but then that usually gives a lot more people time to catch up which is not very good for scroll carriers when you have about 40 people attacking a 10-man group. Alright, another thing is that if you see these question marks on my map, I do not know. This is an add-on. I don't know exactly what add-on it is. I had this add-on for a long time, and it got updated to add these in here, so I cannot tell you what it is. But these are the Volendrung spawn locations that have spawn locations all throughout the map. And what the Volendrung is, or otherwise known as the Hammer, is it's the Daedric artifact of Molag Bal. Not Molag Bal, Malakath. But, I can't remember. It's a Daedric artifact, that's all you need to know. But it is really good at killing people, and once it's picked up, it only has a certain amount of time that it can be used and wielded, and that time can be extended by getting kills with it, which is extremely powerful, and it is also extremely good at knocking down walls and sieging too. So usually when an alliance grabs it, either they will run all the way into the back of their alliance and drop it off and kill themselves there, so the other alliances cannot get it, or they will use it to siege a keep, or a few keeps, or several keeps, it depends, because of how fast they can knock down walls, or doors, whatever. They can knock down everything super fast. They can also kill giant groups of people with it. And if they die, the other alliance can pick it up, so it's usually it can change the tide of war pretty fast and pretty rapidly. Another thing I need to mention is these gates. These two gates on each are for the same for every alliance. They might be in a little bit different areas, but they're controlled by the two castles that are located in front of them. So we have the Gate of Chim here, which blocks off getting to the Temple of Chim. To open this gate, my alliance would need to capture King's Crest Keep. After that, we could get through this gate, and then we could get through to the Temple of Chim, which would allow us to take that. The same can be done over here. If they take rails, they open the gate of Almaruma, and then they can get to whatever it is. I think this is Almaruma, yeah. And then if they take Warden, they open the gate of Nimak, and then they can get to the Temple of Nimak. That's how opening and closing the gates works in this game. Now, I want to go into how you gain score for your alliance. So there, you can see the next score evaluation right here, which tells you how long until the next score is going to be tallied. And right here, for each alliance, you can see how many points they will get when that time is up. What? Alright, excuse the dog barks, but as you can see right here, we get potential points of 172 points from my alliance in 17 minutes. That is calculated by how many scrolls we hold, how many resources we hold, how many outposts are held, and how many keeps are held. All of these factors give your alliance more points for as long as they are held. So the more scrolls we hold, the more points we get. The more resources we hold, the more points we get. And why does that matter? It matters because once the alliance, once the campaign ends in 18 days, you get rewards based off of your performance. And if you see, my end of campaign reward tier is only 2 right now, so I won't get as much. But if my alliance wins, and I have a higher campaign reward tier, I will get more stuff. Usually I'll get purple jewelry and stuff. But no matter what, as long as you get characters to campaign reward tier 1, at the end of a campaign, each character that does that campaign reward tier 1 will get a transmute geode that is worth 50 transmutes crystals. So it is always worth going into the campaign and just doing something like repairing or whatever to get this campaign reward tier up to 1, and this levels up by gaining alliance points. So doing anything that gains you alliance points gains you reward tier. That is it for my beginner's guide to Cyrodiil. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any more questions, make sure to ask me down in the comments. I'm sorry that I haven't been very active. I have been extremely tired and have not had any motivation to make any videos lately, but I hope this helps you guys out in learning how to play Cyrodiil and all that other fun stuff. This video is probably going to take me a little bit to upload, but hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next video.